In this video, I'm going to share my entire film and digital camera collection. What's up everybody, my name is Matt and I'm a street photographer, and on this channel we talk about photography, and so cameras, photography. Let's just get into it. Let's go through my digital cameras first. The first digital camera that I have is the Fujifilm X100V. I got this camera because honestly, when I started out, I was watching a lot of YouTubers. Instead of buying it off retail, I looked on eBay because I'm fine with getting a used camera. The Fujifilm X100V, it's got a fixed lens, 35mm full frame equivalent. It's got film simulations, all that good stuff. This is my main everyday camera. I use this camera for pretty much all my photography, whether that's on the streets or that's at events or that's just hanging out with friends and I just want to carry something around and take pictures of people. This is the camera I use 95% of the time, also for traveling. The next camera I want to walk you through and share with you is the Ricoh, and this isn't the Ricoh GR3, this is the Ricoh GR from 2013, and I also got this on eBay. Why I got this camera was because I actually kind of wanted to compare the X100V against the Ricoh. Two totally different cameras that have got different quirks and specifics about them that lead to different use cases, but these are two brands of cameras or two models that a lot of people talk about in terms of best cameras for street photography, and rightfully so. This thing is really small, but the reason why I got the 2013 was one, because it's cheaper, and two, I read somewhere that the color is a little bit different for the positive film look on this versus the recent models, and so because of the cheapness and this curiosity, I ended up getting this camera. I would say if I use the Fujifilm 90% of the time, I probably use this the other 5%, which isn't saying much. I don't use it that much, but it is really convenient and I do use it when I have to go somewhere and I can't bring even a camera, even as small as it is. If I can't bring the X100V, I bring the Ricoh, because this thing can actually fit in my pockets where I'm wearing dress pants or have tight pockets or can't have a bag on me. This is the camera that I'll bring. It's super convenient, super small, and I do love using it. I just don't use it the most right now, but there will be some situations where I do use it. So I do like this camera. I'm gonna keep this one for sure. And it has a different focal length, 28mm full frame equivalent, which is wider than the Fuji, so it has a different use case and different look. I probably use this a lot when I'm in more crowded spaces. Those two are my digital cameras. The third one is the one that's being used right now. It's a Sony a6600. I don't use that for photography. I use that for video because it's too bulky to carry around all day shooting photos. Now over to the film cameras, I want to take you through this Instax Mini 9. And the reason why I have the Instax is because along with other film cameras, with film I have to go and buy different types of film, shoot with them, use up the whole roll. I have 24 or 36 exposures that might mean a couple of days to use up, and then go and get it developed. So all in all, the lead time to actually see the photo after I've taken it is a while. Whereas the Instax, because it's an instant Polaroid, is more of a fun instant thing. I like using this when I want to have a physical photo right away that I can keep. I usually use it for intimate things like portraits of Alicia or of my friends. Honestly, what I like using with this too is if I meet someone and I really vibe with them and we've done something creative or collaborative together, I'll take a portrait of them or of us or of whatever we're doing, write something on it and give it to them as a little like nice memento. This is more of like a sentimental camera rather than something functional to use for whatever. Use for anything professional or purposeful, or yeah, just like I wouldn't use it every day. Over here, I've got two of the same cameras actually. This is the Minolta Zoom Date 110. The first one was given to me by my sister, and this camera is really important to me because yeah, my sister gave it to me. She studied photography at Art Center Pasadena back in the day. I wasn't really interested in photography my whole life until recently. Started off in digital, got interested in film as everyone kind of does or is curious about, and I didn't want to spend on a camera, and I didn't know anything about film cameras, and I still kind of don't, but this is a point and shoot camera, so it takes care of everything for you. And what I like about this is that the flash on this thing is super strong. Like every time I take a picture of someone, they are surprised at how strong it was. And because of the strong flash, the colors are really vibrant. It's got the strap on it. Carrying a film camera and a digital camera, it'll probably be the X100V, and then this on my neck. If I want to record a moment on film, then I'll just use this. The reason why it takes me a long time to get through one single roll of film is because usually when I take pictures with this, I only do it one time. Like, I don't go and capture a scene or whatever is going on multiple times. Like, I focus on just one and then forget about it. The reason why I have two is because I don't know how old this thing actually is and I'm scared it's gonna break, so I got another one as a backup. This camera also has a lot of historical significance because this is the same camera that Ren Hong used. I also did a deep dive into who he is, his background, and why he's important, and his photography style. Super crazy stuff. Incredible photographer who sadly passed away at like 27 or 28, took his own life. Impressive work with such a simple camera. And it always reminds me that it's not about gear, even though I'm talking about all this gear, that it's really about, even with a simple piece of equipment from back in the day, like you can create really amazing, beautiful stuff and have original ideas. The final camera that I want to share with you is this film camera, an all manual Pentax MX 35mm with a 50mm lens on it. The lens is a SMC Pentax 1.4, old school. You got to load the film, wind it up, set the shutter speed manually, aperture, focus ring. So I said I use the X100 90% of the time, the Ricoh 5. All the other cameras combined make up the rest of that 5%. This camera I really just use from time to time to kind of remind myself of how to work a film camera, because I do have an interest in it and I might get further into it later on. I'm looking at some expensive cameras right now, but they cost a lot of money, so kind of just scratch that itch with this. Why this camera is really important to me is because I got into photography late in the game, and how the Minolta was given to me by my sister. This was actually my uncle's camera who passed away 2 years ago. I remember as a kid, he would always take pictures. He had all the handheld video cameras, and he was always recording everything going on, recording me as a little baby in my underwear, running around in my diapers. Sadly, as I got older, I didn't stay as connected to him, and his health really deteriorated. So by the time I was an adult, he was pretty much in the hospital most of the time. He passed away and left a lot of stuff, and I asked my mom to give me all his stuff basically, and I've got a lot of his handheld cameras back in LA that I still have to go through and fix because I don't know how they work and the chargers are all over the place. But this is his film camera. I will keep this forever as a reminder of him, and how in our family, I've started to notice as I've gotten older that there is a lineage of people who love to document, such as my uncle and such as my dad, who used to be a news reporter back in the day, writing stories, taking pictures. I've been experimenting with this camera. It's got a beautiful lens, starting to take more portraits with it, but because of the cost of film, not that often, 5% of the time. Less than 5%. That's my entire film and digital camera collection. Not that much because, as you can see, I don't know, I just like to keep things tight. I don't really want to have that much stuff because I'm still trying to get the most out of what I have and out of myself. What I'm actually buying a lot of are photo books, which I'll get into this video. So if you're interested in my photo book collection, it's freaking rad. I got so many books that I haven't even read. Check out this video.